I'm going to dive back into enmeshment for this video because I have something very necessary to talk about. One of the effects of enmeshment on people, on individuals, if they even get to that point, is they don't really get to have their own space for, like, just themselves to focus on their emotions. They're basically expected to bring their shit to everyone else because everyone's shit is everyone's shit in systems of enmeshment. What's so interesting, though, about this dynamic is that they're expected to bring their own shit to everyone else, but at the same time, they're also not expected to individually work on their own shit. Like, imagine if somebody goes to everyone else to deal with their shit, but they never actually, go back to themselves, bring themselves back to themselves and their shit and their problems, right? They're never really going to learn how to deal with their shit by themselves. And at the end of the day, it's the job of each individual to take care of their own shit, right? So, I noticed this and everything, and I just see how, it's so limiting because think about it this way. When a person gets injured, right? Say, for instance, something about their leg, right? They get injured, and then what they do is they usually use a crutch. And that crutch helps them to walk. But if they keep using it, they're never going to learn how to walk for themselves again. That's just the reality of it. And so, if all that a person does is bring their shit to everyone else, to deal with it, to handle it, to resolve it, they're not going to bring their shit back to themselves for themselves to individually deal with it. And this is what I would argue to be deeply detrimental. Because if you never know how to handle your shit by yourself, there's nothing wrong with bouncing ideas off of other people, right? If you're sitting with something and maybe you don't fully understand something and somebody else actually understands it better, however, it is 2023 and Google exists, and Google does not come with sarcasm. So, you can go to other people, but to an extent. There has to be some sort of boundary, some level of boundary, right? You will only bring it to the other person for a limiting way, not exceeding a certain amount, right? It's very important that an individual learns how to handle their shit without bringing it to other people, without involving other people in it. And that's just the reality of it. It's deeply necessary that a person, despite who they go to with their shit, they know how to bring their shit back to themselves and actually, focus on it for themselves. It's crucial. Because if you don't have that dynamic for yourself, you're never going to know how to work through stuff for yourself, right? At the end of the day, you can ask anyone what you should do about your shit, about your problems, about issues, about obstacles and challenges in your life. But at the end of the day, if you're not forming your own ideas, your own thoughts, your own beliefs, your own opinions, your own likes, dislikes, wants, and needs, and, if you're not utilizing those things to guide you through different things in your life that arise, you don't have a whole lot. You really don't. And that's a problem. It's a big problem. And that's usually what happens in systems of enmeshment. Because you're not allowed to work through your own stuff by yourself. there's constant impeding from other people of, I know you're going through something. I know you're going through, what are you going through? What's wrong? What's going on with you, huh? Why don't you just talk to us? What the hell? Where you been? Why don't you just talk to us? Come on. It's not fair that you keep your stuff to yourself. We're here to help you. We're here to... It's like, whoa. You know, like, it's a lot. So this is why it's important for each individual to really bring themselves back to themselves and to take their time as necessary to develop themselves and to be able to actually work through their shit and to not rely on other people to do that for them. Because at the end of the day, a person's shit is a person's shit and nobody else's.